Let's look at a few more relationships that happen. This time we're looking to see what happens when we have two parallel lines and another line that goes through them. We call this line that goes through them a transversal. So this line right here would be the transversal, and these two other lines are parallel to one another. So when this happens, we have, like I said, several relationships. We have one thing called alternate interior angles, and alternate interior angles are equal. So interior meaning, think of inside our parallel lines, and alternating meaning you kind of go across. So C and E would be considered alternating interior angles. So we get that C would be equal to E. Similarly, D would be equal to, why did I write D twice? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, let's call that H instead of D, because otherwise that could be confusing. Let's call this D equals H. So the alternating interior angles here are the pairs C with E and D with H. Similarly, with alternating exterior angles, those are also equal, so this angle up here, A, and G would be equal to each other. A would be equal to G, and B would be equal to F. Corresponding angles are also equal, so what I mean by corresponding is kind of the upper left angle here would be equal to the upper left angle here. So A equals H, B equals E, C equals F, and D equals G. So there's all sorts of different relationships that end up happening here. You don't need to really be as responsible for the names of these particular relationships as just knowing that they're true. Adjacent angles still sum up to 180 degrees, so for instance E and G are still adjacent angles here. And so what this means is that if we have this situation, and if I know any one of these 8 angles, I could actually use these relationships to find all of these angles. So I know vertical angles are equal, so I know that, call this H again, this must be a 70-degree angle. I know that corresponding angles are equal, so that means that this one and this one must be equal, and similarly that one and that one must be equal. Okay, now I also know that adjacent angles must sum to 180 degrees, and that means that this one must be 110 degrees in order for the 70 to add to something to get to 180. 180 minus 70 is 110. And then I could pretty quickly fill in the rest of these using the similar sort of logic as what I just did with 70.